Hi, I'm Eric D'Amato.
And I don't know, I guess, like, I'm a fucking ghost from Mars that you don't have to swing your prayer beads around for, screaming Allah Rahman Mabahim.
Okay, and welcome back to Mindbreakers.
Yes, the show that gets rid of the prayer beads and replaces it with, I don't know, a bladed gauntlet for this one.
Well, I can't even pretend and like I don't know what this movie is. This is probably one of my favorite slasher films of all time, one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
It has a lot of accolades in your book.
The first slasher film I ever watched, unless you
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Unless you count Psycho.
Well, when did you watch Psycho and when did you watch Elm Street?
Why do you count Psycho as a slasher?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Wait, no, I watched this before Psycho. I think I was in like grade 4 or 5 when I saw this.
Okay,
for the
so
first
then
time.
that's a pick then.
Yeah, it was my first.
I forget what mine was. Honestly, I watched. I think. Well, like first horror movie was Exorcist. That was the first like horror movie I actually sat down and watched.
I think my first horror movie was either Creature from the Black Lagoon or Dracula.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
If we're counting the Universals.
I think the first like slasher, like proper slasher film I watched was either Friday the 13th, first one, or it's possible Texas Chainsaw I might have watched around the same time.
But
I'm not sure which I watched first.
as you can clearly see by the title of the video and the thumbnail, A Nightmare on Elm Street, the 1984 non-worthless version.
Yes, the Wes Craven.
I think they're
original.
both Wes Craven, but the other one had Michael Bay's involvement.
No, but original. 1984.
The Robert Englund
original.
one.
Yes, with Robert Englund.
The monstrous spirit of a slain child murderer seeks revenge by invading the dreams of teenagers whose parents are responsible for his untimely death.
This movie is fantastic.
And it has a 7.5 on IMDb, which is high for the stuff we watch.
Honestly, like I was thinking it was gonna get maybe a little bit more. I feel like it should be at least like an 8.
There are some people who review movies who just patently do not like horror movies.
The Ebert and Ropers of the world,
and the Siskells and them, and
yeah.
I think it's some of that they essentially. I don't want to say review bombed, but had the same effect as a review bomb.
Yeah. Plus a lot of people were down on it when I think this first came out because it was so gory and like out there. So like it just it was a very niche audience when it arrived on the scene. So that has it going for
actually
it.
has a few returning actors from films we've already reviewed.
Of course,
it's got John Saxon from Black Christmas.
It's got Johnny Depp in it.
Yes, but we haven't reviewed a Johnny Depp movie.
No, we have.
Have we?
Sure, there's one.
No. This is This is the first movie Johnny Depp ever appeared in. Robert Englund, who
that's true.
We saw him in.
How have we not seen another Depp movie? Like I'm like
because when Johnny Depp's in a bad movie, that movie is not entertaining. It's just kind of painful.
See, I added my citations. Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End.
Okay, At World's End was a good movie.
I didn't like At World's End.
It as the intended end to the series. I liked it.
Yeah,
but when you get to a point
too.
in the book that says the end, and then there's still like 400 pages later, you're like, what?
Yeah, I wish they could have just like after At World's End, they should have just made the prequel films with him as a kid, based off the books.
Yeah,
that's what they should have done. Honestly, I'm surprised they haven't made those yet.
This new Jack Sparrow-less Pirates of the Caribbean movie they're planning probably isn't going to be any good either.
Probably not. But you know what? I can still hold out for the Child Sparrow films.
At least,
Hopefully one day we'll get those.
give us a Disney Plus animated series.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I should write scripts for them. I should like sit down and reread all the books that I have, because I have all of them. I should just like sit down and reread all of them and then write a script.
Yeah, we've never encountered Johnny Depp on our show before.
Okay, well, there's a surprise. Holy shit.
But without further ado, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
3, 4, he's gonna slam your door.
Let's watch this one.
The kids of Elm Street don't know it yet, but something is coming to get them.
There's something out there, isn't there?
You could just see cuts happen.
What did that, Lieutenant?
I don't know.
Tina! What's the coroner got to say? He's in the jar and puking since he saw it.
They're gonna kill me for sure.
Did you do it?
There was somebody else there.
He was locked in a room with a girl who went in alive and came out in a rubber bag.
No one knows where it came from or who it will visit next.
Nancy? There's something wrong with you. You're imagining things.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Do you believe in the boogeyman?
No.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
She's the only one who can stop it. If she fails,
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
no one will survive. From Wes Craven, director of The Hills Have Eyes and Last House on the Left, a new masterpiece in fantasy terror, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Five, 6. He's gonna fuck himself with a crucifix.
Yeah,
That's
wrong movie.
This movie, right?
No, that's The Exorcist. But,
Seven,
big surprise.
7, 8.
Stop
He's
it.
gonna masturbate.
Please stop. But,
Okay, that
big
was the last
surprise, this movie was great. Like, this movie is great.
Yeah, it's a good one. I still like this film, honestly, especially in comparison with the others. Like, this is my fave.
3.
I like this one a lot more than 3.
We start with a guy at a workbench
Yeah,
making
he's
a glove.
making the finger glovies.
And I do immediately love how similar this is to the groovy scene from Evil Dead 2 and 3.
I kind of is,
How
actually,
similar,
yeah.
how similarly it's shot and what's going on, but how different the tone is.
Have we mentioned that in Evil Dead there's the Freddy glove?
No,
up in the
because we've
corner
never
of,
talked. We
the
haven't reviewed
cabin?
Evil Dead.
Well, I think I've mentioned it at some point.
You
I
could
feel
maybe,
like I have.
but there's no reason to.
Like I've offhanded.
But yeah, there's the Freddy glove
least
in
once, I'm sure.
in Evil Dead, and also there's a connection to between Evil Dead and this because later on in the
Because
movie they're
She's watching Evil Dead.
Evil
yeah.
Dead 1.
Nancy's sitting
Which-
in bed watching Evil Dead.
Would be very confusing if the proposed Freddy versus Jason versus Ash ever happened, because Ash's adventures are an actual film.
Yes.
And then it just gets very...
It's like, holy fuck, you're real.
And you're not a Pokemon master. And you never will
Yeah.
be.
This is true.
So,
It's pretty hard to catch Pokemon with a chainsaw, Merrick. I don't know if you've ever tried that before.
I enjoy the screams of Pikachus. Anyway, he puts on
That gets a maniacal laugh from me.
he puts on the bladed glove, and then we see a blonde girl in a in a white nightgown. This is Tina, played by Amanda Weiss.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind
She's
of
very pretty.
short-haired, so Wooly would approve.
I was gonna say that if you weren't going to.
I know. So she's in a boiler room, or what's supposed to be a boiler room. It kind of looks like a big underground labyrinth with pipes.
Well, yeah, because it's a dream version
Yeah.
of what is his actual boiler room.
And she's running around it. We hear blades scraping on the wall. We hear Freddy's laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's skulking. He lurks.
and then we have a random sheep.
Meh.
And I don't know what the sheep has always confused me.
Well, it's supposed to be like,
I
oh, hey, you're not dreaming. Maybe you should, like, you're not dreaming properly. Maybe you should have counted a bunch of these. Like, it's Freddy fucking with her.
I think I always just thought like a sheep somehow is having the same dream.
No, I'm guaranteed it's like Freddy just messing with
So
her.
instead of a sheep, it's more a red herring.
Yeah, there you go. It's like to distract her because like he pops out of the furnace after.
He pops out of the furnace, gives a good old claw swipe, and then she wakes up screaming.
Yes.
And her mom comes in. Are you okay? And then, I just had a nightmare. And some nightmare. You either gotta cut your fingernails to stop having those kind of dreams. And there's just like 4 slash marks in her nightdress.
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh.
It's it really sets the tone. Like this just really like this series kind of hits the ground running right away because like there's not a whole lot to establish. Like it is what it is.
Then she's with her.
What it is awesome.
She's walking to school with her friends. It's called. The town is. I want to say Haddonfield, but that's Halloween.
I don't
starts
remember,
with an S. Springwood. They're in Springwood.
Oh, okay.
Not Springfield.
Lousy Smarch weather.
I'll get them where you cannot protect them. They're dreams.
Fucking shit.
You've mastered a dead tongue, but can you handle a live one?
Oh yeah.
I left my gun on the seat. Oh jeez.
Fucking shit. While Tina's on her way to school, by the way,
she has
we
her
hear the rhyme from a bunch
there's
of kids,
some
skipping
creepy
rope.
kids skipping rope.
Mm-hmm.
In the white, it's 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
Everybody knows the rhyme.
3, 4, better lock
Everybody
your
does.
door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7,
9, 10.
8.
He's a big fat hen.
I do like the trailer for part 3, which is it's a girl, it's a child with the dollhouse of the house.
Yeah, I remember that trailer.
9, 10. Freddy's hand comes out with the glove. He's back again.
Yeah,
that's a cool
that was
one.
a good one. I like that.
So she's joined by her friends Nancy, played by Heather Langenkamp.
Glenn, Rod.
Glenn, played by Johnny Depp, and then Rod comes in later.
Yeah.
Rod
just basically exists to be a prick asshole to
everyone.
Tina.
Yeah.
Everybody really, but Tina especially because he wants to bang.
Well,
her.
he is banging her. He's her boyfriend.
But like
he's basically Danny Zuko from Greece.
Yeah, but they have like a love-hate relationship basically.
His name
like
is the actor is Jesus Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to pronounce it. It's JSU. He sounds
it's probably,
like a
It's probably Sue.
He sounds
Sue.
like a Justice League spinoff.
Yeah, or it's like with the J, like either the J is silent or it's like pronounced as a H. So it might be like Husu.
Anyway, they're going to school.
Spanish names are weird.
And Tina's telling them about her dream, and it seems they all had kind of similar dreams, but no one really wants to talk about it.
Johnny Depp's a cool kid.
He's a jock.
He carries around a boombox.
Yeah, and
he's fucking dope.
It's really the first thing I saw with Johnny Depp was Pirates of the Caribbean.
Was that the first thing you saw him in?
That I saw him in, yeah. So
I've seen him in this, I think, before that.
Well, where I recognized Johnny Depp as being Johnny Depp. That is.
Oh, okay. I see.
So seeing him in this after seeing him in things now, he is so young.
Mm-hmm.
He's just so
well, this is his first film. You said it yourself, man.
True, but he looks so young.
I know, and he's handsome as fuck, and I love him.
Which is why it's also cool. As bad as Pirates of the Caribbean 5 was, young Jack Sparrow in that one scene is young Johnny Depp. It's just
it's perfect. They did it so well.
Next we're at a sleepover.
They go over to
Tina's.
I think it was isn't it Tina's place or Nancy's place?
Tina's place.
Yeah, they go to Tina's place because her parents are out of town. They go sleep over there. It's Glenn, Nancy, and Tina, just the three of them, basically.
They're like, "Hey, Glenn, how did you convince your parents to let you sleep over at this place with two girls?" It's like, "Oh, I didn't. I told them I'm with my cousin at the airport, so he starts playing with the soundtracks."
Yeah, he calls his mom, and he's like playing the airplane like landing sound or takeoff sound, whatever. And then like the girls start messing with the buttons.
No, they don't start messing with the buttons. It's not like you'd loop an audio file now. It's a tape, meaning it's the plane sound effect and other ones. So then there's car driving sound effects, screams, crashes, gunfire, explosions.
But like that's like the explosion and everything happens like I think after Nancy like presses one button and starts cracking.
No, none of them pressed anything. It's just the tape doing it.
No, Nancy pressed something.
No, she didn't. She pressed nothing. I've seen this movie 100 times. She doesn't press a button.
I swear I saw.
You saw wrong.
I swear I did.
All right, fine. You can be wrong.
Anyways, they end up hearing a noise other than that after Glenn hangs up, and
something in the bushes.
Like they go outside. Glenn's like, "Whoever's out there, I'm gonna kick the shit out of you."
Glenn's like, "It's okay, I got this," and then he gets tackled by Rod.
Yeah.
Wait, is his name Rod?
Yeah, Rod.
I'm just because of all the Simpsons joke and just hi, I'm Rod. This is my brother Todd.
Yeah, I know, but it's Rod.
Okay.
Because he's a tool.
Yeah. Just like the other Rod.
Yeah. Also, it's ironic later.
Or erotic.
No, it's ironic.
Erotic.
Ironic.
So, it's he comes up, he's like, "Hey, I'd just like to apologize to you, Tina. Let's go upstairs and have the sex like in the slasher movies."
Yes.
And then Johnny... Glenn wants to make out with Nancy, but it's like, no, we have to keep an eye out on Tina. It's like,
Also, horror movie virgin trope number 1.
Yep.
Like horror movie virgin must stay a virgin.
Indeed. So Tina goes to sleep and takes a little walk out. One thing I will say, one thing I'll say, I love this movie. But another good thing I'll say about this movie, it's good at the surrealism and keeping it not exactly clear whether it's a dream or not until Freddy.
Yeah, it's like you're not supposed to know when and exactly it goes into dream, especially near the end. They keep it very obscure.
That's I think why this is probably the best. This or 7 are the best in the series.
Oh yeah, because
a lot of the other ones, you just go to Freddy Land and he does his jokes, and it's.
Mm-hmm. It's honestly like it was all a dream kind of works for this film because of the premise, but like whereas in other films it's just like campy.
But the dreams are the whole premise on this one.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
So
that's why it works.
She's walking outside, and then Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
Freddy comes walking at her with his super long arms.
He's got the stretchy arms. He's Stretch Armstrong.
He's Mr. Fantastic. No, that's
powers?
not fair. Freddy's a much better human being than Reed Richards.
You got any powers?
No, man.
Exactly.
She's, oh God. He just raises the claw glove. This is God. And then he just chops up some of his fingers and squirts green goo out of them for some reason. Never quite
He's like,
understood.
he's just intimidating her. He's just going like, hey, watch this. You can't do shit to me.
I always did find it funny where just like, hey, you want to see a magic trick? Toink. Just, okay, you cut off your fingers. How does this benefit you?
You might as well like jump into a wood chipper.
You're not like the tall man. Your fingers don't become creatures that will attack. Like, what are you doing?
No, he's just like it's not gonna do anything to him anyway, because like he's gonna come back like the second he like reappears somewhere.
And Freddy came back the very next day.
Like he could jump into a wood chipper that he manifested and then come out like all weirded like weird and like spring looking. He might as well like just like come out as a slinky. Like that's how much sense he can make in a dream, you know.
So
like,
we get another really cool effect where he pops up from behind a tree, but like the tree's like half of him comes out from one side of the tree, but there's nothing on the other side, even though he should be on both sides.
Yeah, you can do stuff like that.
Well, it just he chases her, and then he kills her. But even though him killing her in the dream is pretty basic claw work.
In real life,
she's being
floating up a wall,
like invisibly being dragged along the ceiling, slashed with the claws. Rod's like, what?
Yeah, like he can't believe his eyes. Plus, the door's locked, and Nancy's trying to get in.
The music is great. I mean, the music's great all the time in this movie.
Yeah, throughout the whole film. Like honestly, the score is amazing. It's really good.
And she's dead. Rod is blamed and books it.
Because of course he would be.
And then Nancy goes to the police station to be questioned by the police chief, John Saxon, who is also her dad.
Yes.
And her mom is there, and her mom's name is something. Let me just double check. Her mom's name is Marge. Wow, the Simpsons connections are just everywhere. Played by Ronnie Blakely. And I guess the parents are separated. It's not really gone into.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, maybe.
And it's like, why were you there? It's
either
like,
that or
we were
either that or like just cop dad is just always at work.
Yeah.
As per the trope of cop dad.
We were staying at your why are you at their house? Like, well, she didn't want to be alone. She had a bad dream. Was scared to fall asleep in an empty house. We're looking for Rod.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had a fight, but it wasn't that serious. So maybe you don't think murder is serious. No, I mean the fight wasn't that serious.
Yeah, exactly.
The fight wasn't murder fight.
An asshole. This is par for the course when it comes to Rod.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Like he wouldn't kill.
It wasn't
that kind of guy.
Murder fight.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't like they were freaking going at each other with like freaking sabers at dawn. You know, it's like no, it's just fucking like
no pawn. There was no pawn far.
They broke up for a bit.
There was no pawn far.
Yeah, they're gonna freaking back to back shoot each other, freaking pistols.
You underestimate my powers.
I have the high ground.
So, she goes to school the next day against her mother's objections.
Yes, and she also gets grabbed by Rod and like dragged into a bush, and he's like basically pleading to her that like he didn't do it.
So what happened then? I don't know. I saw 4 knives cutting at the same time. It was weird, and I just dragged around. I don't know what's going on, but it wasn't me.
He might as well just like put his hands up in the air and just like, I didn't do it.
I did not kill her. I did not.
Oh, hi, Nancy.
Anyway, Lieutenant Thompson arrests him because he was following his daughter.
And then he actually says, like, I find the best line in the entire film is this. He asks Nancy, what the hell do you think you're doing going to school?
Did Did you also have... You ever have that dream where you're wearing kind of sun god robes standing on top of a huge pyramid and 1,000 naked women are screaming and throwing little pickles at you?
What?
Nothing. Movie reference.
Jesus, wow.
So she goes...
like, yeah, that question just cracked me
She
up.
goes to school. They're reading a bit of Julius Caesar that has to do with bad dreams. It all goes very quiet, and she sees Tina in a body bag being dragged down the hall.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes to follow.
Because of course you would.
And slams directly into a hall monitor who's wearing a suspiciously red and green sweater.
She's she's
Where's
not exactly the greatest looker, that one.
Where's your pass? Screw your pass. Hey, Nancy. She turns around. She has a glove on, the Freddy glove on. No running in the hallway.
Because of course it would just be Freddy, because she's dreaming in study hall.
And
we
then
see this happen.
she goes into the basement.
Well, like, she ends up, she goes into the basement, and then she basically gets chased around a bunch more before waking up, screaming in the classroom.
The thing with Freddy is when he's like actively chasing a person on foot, it's not scary. Because he's a little guy like with a glove hand going woo and chasing you. It's not really the most threatening thing.
Yeah, it's like a 40-something-year-old Robert Englund fucking.
Well, he was
wiggling
like
his
20
fingers
in this
around,
movie.
going, woo, woo, woo.
He wasn't 40 when he was doing this movie. It was a lot younger.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just like, I'm saying, like, it might, like, it doesn't really matter how old
It's
he
not-
is, because, like, it's thrilling.
It's not a big guy in a hockey mask and machete, or with a chainsaw, or with a knife and a Captain Kirk mask.
Yeah, he's not the most threatening guy, like,
Physically,
like,
but he
intimi-
has.
Yeah, he's not physically
But he
intimidating.
has the superpowers.
Exactly. That's the whole reason people are, like, afraid of Freddy, because, like, you can't get him in the dream.
Now, the real reason they're afraid of Freddy is they haven't seen 5 and 6.
Good point.
Just becomes a clown. And not a scary
But,
clown, just clowny. So she goes
Yeah.
into the basement, she burns herself on the pipes to wake her up, and she wakes up screaming in the classroom.
Yeah, that's how she wakes up.
And she's like, I gotta go home. All right, you'll need a hall pass. But you look at her arm, and there's a burn.
Yeah, it's like, you got this in the dream.
That's
like, how?
not normal.
Yeah. But it's like, this has been happening since the beginning with, like, the ripped dress and everything. So it's like, like, whatever he does to you, like, whatever happens in his dream, like, in your dream, will happen to your body,
The
like, IRL.
back about the Tina's death scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the best, I think, kills. Not like the best, but one of like top 5 kills in the series.
Definitely.
Because
but
it's simple, and up until that point of the movie, you think that's the main character.
Yeah, for sure. But it's like, again, it's playing with your expectations.
It's really, really effective. Another one of the best kills is also in this movie.
Yes, this is true. And we'll get to that one because it's like my favorite in, I think, the entire series.
It's my second favorite. My favorite is in the third one. A lot of my favorites are in the third one.
I say that one is still my favorite.
Fair enough.
You know the one.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get to it pretty soon. But I actually want to like just jump back like 2 seconds also and mention that when Rod is talking to her, he explains that like he was having the dreams of the man with knife for fingers. Or wait, is that when she sees him in the cell? I forget.
Yeah, I think that's in the cell.
Okay, so yeah, like that's basically what happens next. So it's like she goes to visit Rod in the cell.
But point is,
and he
everyone's
explains-
having the same dream about the same Bernie face man.
with knives for fingers.
Yeah.
With butter knives for eyeballs.
Not like fingernails, more like finger knives.
with chainsaws for fingernails.
He can shoot fireballs out of his eyes and lightning out of his arse.
Chainsaws for toes and pickaxes for nuts.
All right, not important. Move on.
She goes to have a bath after that whole little discussion.
Oh, there was also a scene because when they're in the house, before Tina's killed. Because she and Rod are in Tina's mother's bedroom.
Yes.
Glenn is on the couch. Nancy is in Tina's bedroom. And we have basically the poster effect. Because Freddy,
I forgot about that part.
like, the wall bulges outward with the fingers in the face of Freddy, and then he sees, oh, that's not the right person, and it goes back in, and it's such a cool effect, even knowing how they did it.
No, because if he could have just gone after Nancy right there, movie over.
Yeah.
But he changes his mind, basically, and goes after Tina instead, because he already went after her. He's just
coming through the wall and the wall move. It's
a great effect.
And I know how they did it. They stretched a sheet of rubber over the wall. I read the biography, and he just pushed against it. Fine, I know that. It's still such a good effect.
I know, it's amazing. They were super innovative when they were making this thing. Like, honestly, Wes had a great vision.
Oh, Wes Craven was a genius.
Yes, still is in certain cases. It just depends what he's working on, really. Like this, he had a passion for.
Oh yeah,
guaranteed.
Then it got taken out of his hands in the sequels.
Yeah, exactly. It got too big for. It got bigger than him. Basically, at that point, people wanted to sort of nitpick, do little things at it. But she ends up going to take a bath,
and then
she finds these sleeping pills that are labeled like big sleep pills.
Like,
never stay awake all the time.
So yes, stay awake, not sleep pills, anti-sleep pills.
Yeah, there we go, anti-sleep pills.
She goes in the bath. She falls asleep in the bath, and then the Freddy hand comes out of the water.
Yeah, and then her mom wakes her up basically.
Doesn't she get dragged into the water first?
No,
that's a deleted.
Mom knocks on the door.
That's a deleted scene.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, you're thinking of that then.
Yeah, I've seen so much. I love this movie. It's your mom knocks on the door. Don't fall asleep in there. You can drown. I'm gonna get you some warm milk so you can sleep.
Yeah, there you go. She's like, warm milk.
Yeah,
with like a little milk face. And then she gets dragged into the water. Screams a bunch. Mom comes in. She's like, "Oh yeah, I was just slipping in the tub.
I just slipped. It's okay."
Yeah.
So she calls Glenn over to watch her while she sleeps.
And then she's in bed watching Evil Dead at this point.
Yes.
And Glenn climbs up to the window.
Yep. Scares her accidentally.
And she's like, "Stand guard while I look for someone." And he's like, "Look for someone? What?" She's like, "Just watch me sleep while I'm looking for somebody." It's like, what?
But he's like, "You know what? Fine, okay, I'll do it."
Cool. And then she goes to sleep, and she's walking around in the streets in her dream. We don't know this is a dream right away, though.
But why is he in her dream? And that he's also in her dream behind the tree.
Yeah, because he falls asleep too.
Oh right. Yes.
It's a good little.
It is. It's a good nod.
Little
She goes to the prison.
It's a detail. It's a nice little detail.
She goes to the prison, has a look at Rod, but oh no, it's a Freddy Kreuger.
Yeah. He just walks into the cell, and basically is caressing his head, and then Glenn starts screaming.
But he's only doing that because he's and he looks up and Ed's like, "Hello."
Yeah, just to tease her. Basically, it's like, "I'm gonna get him.
You ready for a cool show?" And then she bolts awake, slaps Rod for falling asleep, and then they book it to the police station. It's like,
you mean slaps Glenn for falling asleep?
Yeah, slaps Glenn for falling asleep. It's like, "You asshole, you fell asleep. We gotta get to the police station now." So they book it. It's like, "Hey, you have to let us see, hey, cop guy, you gotta let us see Rod in this prison cell." It's like, I took this night shift so I could get some peace and quiet. I'm not gonna do my job. So
it's like, come on, you just gotta go see him. Go check on him right now.
So, and then we cut back to Rod, and then the rope of the bed sheets are going around his neck, and then going over the beam at the top of the cell.
Yeah, he gets hung by Freddy basically.
And they get there too late. And he's hanging.
Honestly, I think this kill is a bit much because Freddy should not be able to manipulate the things around him.
Oh, I
He should be
think
able to
he's
just manipulate-
hanged him in his dream.
Maybe that's possible, but then again, how would the bedsheets get involved in that?
I don't know.
I don't know how he would be able to manipulate.
I don't
that.
think we
That's
can
a bit
really
too much.
call anything in this movie incorrect. Because it's the
yeah,
first
it's
one,
just-
so these are the rules.
Yeah, I guess, but like still, I find it's a stretch to have that as like a detail. It's just it's slightly out of the realms of the rules.
Maybe it was something else in the dream, because we don't actually see his dream.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's actually like logically explained by something.
And
But like to me, it's just a bit too much.
They find him hanging, and
It's
clearly
contrived.
they actually wanted him to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Sure.
if you're gonna lock someone up with their shoelaces and belt,
Yeah, that's true.
but yeah,
But then again, he's just detained. They're not gonna take
but they find him hanging. They think he killed himself. They bury him. We see some people who
and his jacket too. He
Yeah.
still has his jacket on.
because tunnel snakes rule.
God damn it. Also, should we mention that he basically got Epsteined?
If you want,
I'm willing to say that right now.
all right, go ahead.
Just did.
Whatever. So we're at this funeral. His parents. Oh, it's not actually said, but two older people who look a bit like him are there, and they just give Lieutenant Thompson a look.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's really subtle. I think they're his parents. Like, well done, you killed our kid, asshole. It's a nice subtle touch. I like it.
Yeah. It's basically like suggesting that like there is more like relationship connection to this film than we get to see.
Yeah. Very
like
subtle.
the parents actually
it's very
do talk
subtle
to each
for a
other on the
slasher
weekends.
film. It's very subtle for a slasher film.
It is.
Then there's they're talking. They take Nancy to a sleep clinic,
Yes.
and she has a dream with the machines hooked up to her, and she comes. We don't see the dream, but she comes out with Freddy's hat.
Yeah, and like this is honestly, I think, like one of the most incredible.
And no one in the clinic questions this.
Well, because like they're used to like just sticking the wires on them and being like, oh, okay, we're supposed to get like maybe a 5 or a 6 if a bad dream is happening, on these monitor things. Like that's the regular.
But we got an
And
87
the machine
and a
gets,
hat.
like shot into like the thousands basically, and a hat manifests from her dreams. It's like okay,
There's a
this
this
is
isn't good.
abnormal.
Why? Yeah, it's up to 20. That doesn't sound that bad. Yeah, you don't get it. The machine only goes up to 5.
Yeah, it's like a buh.
So she's talking to her mother, who's been drinking heavily, and asks about the name of the hat, Fred Kreuger. And wow, is it weird to hear him called Fred Kreuger.
Well, like
I know you
Yeah,
think
it's-
Freddy, not Fred. It's not like with Michael Myers. It's Mike. It's
the Freddy part is just to like be a bit more. Like,
it's catchier.
It's adding a bit more like flair and like intrigue. It's like, ooh, who's this Freddy? It's like he's more like it's monstrous. You don't know this guy. He's a weirdo. He's a nutter. He is.
He's a creep. He's a weirdo.
Plus, like Freddy is a lot more like sounds more intimidating than like, oh, it's Fred the Killer.
Not even Jeff the Killer's intimidating.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Hey, I'm Jeff.
you put like a guy named Fred the Killer next to a guy named Jeff the Killer, and honestly, I would be more intimidated by the Jeff the Killer.
You kind of
'cause
like
at least
how
that's slightly more
Freddy's
catchy.
like the whole Springwood slasher thing with Freddy he's like the original creepypasta.
Yeah, he kind of is.
It's really cool. Him and Candyman,
Yeah,
both by Wes Craven.
for sure. Yeah, those were the bases pretty much of like creepypasta
So his mom,
cultures.
he's like, who's Fred Kreuger? It's like, all right, I'm gonna let you in on something. They go to the basement.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there was a killer of children called Fred Kreuger in this very town. He took them to a boiler room and he murdered them. They caught him. It was a great trial. They had him dead to rights, but a cop signed something in the wrong place and they had to let him go. So he burned his house down with him inside it.
And no, not the house. He burned down the furnace.
Right, they burned down the boiler room with him inside.
With him in it.
Burned him to death. And he can't come after you. He's very dead. And for some reason, I kept his glove. Never explained.
Yeah, it's just like Mommy has his glove now, so and I kept it so that I would show you that Mommy took the monsters away from the world. It's like, but how would you be able to just like walk the fuck in there and grab his glove off his fucking smoldering corpse?
I mean, it's like the Obi-Wan keeping the lightsaber. Okay, but this is...
No, but in this case, it's like, who would let her?
This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
Well, like, again, her husband is the chief of police, so yeah, it kind of makes sense. I don't know.
We found it in a cabin up in Michigan.
It's a bit much. I wanted to put it on my wall, but it's a bit tacky.
I have one in a bell jar.
Yes, that you do. But oh yeah, I wanted to just
yeah, go ahead.
Hint at the fact that Rod was hung with a bed sheet.
Yes, I said that.
And the bed sheet was hung by Rod. It's a curtain joke.
I'm leaving.
Also, they had his funeral. We forgot to mention.
We mentioned the funeral.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't remember that. I didn't hear that part.
So he has Nancy has another plan.
Mm-hmm.
She is gonna go and do the sleep thing with Glenn again, because Glenn tells her before, is like, oh, in this culture here, they dream and they get control of their dreams, and if they meet a monster, they take its power away.
Yeah.
And he's eating a burger, and the burger looked very tasty, and I was just focusing on the burger.
And he's also apparently listening to his music while watching TV in his house.
And
waiting for Miss Naked USA to appear.
And apparently. Sorry, ladies, he rocks a crop top better than you do.
This is true.
He rocks a crop top better than anybody.
Glenn is a rad dude.
So, Marge has put bars on all the windows.
Mm-hmm. And she got super drunk.
Oh,
and she's like, nobody's coming in here. Nobody's getting out. You're gonna be safe.
I knew you.
Night.
I knew you. But you ain't you. You can't be you. We put you through the window.
You're supposed to be dead.
There ain't no coming back. So she's up in her room. She's trying to get a hold of Glenn, but he's asleep. Yeah. And the dad's like, hey, she talks to his mom's like, oh, I don't know. He's kind of asleep right now. I don't know if you wake him up. The dad takes the phone. Glenn's asleep. You're going to have to talk to him later. Slam. Gotta be firm with these kids. It's the only way they'll listen. So Nancy's screaming as we get the single best kill in the movie and one of the best kills in the series.
Yes.
You want to take this one?
Oh, fuck yeah, I do.
Go ahead.
So, he's laying in bed, right? And he's asleep.
He's relaxed. He's maxing, relaxing, all cool.
Exactly. He's got his hands up and everything, legs crossed.
He had one little fight, and his mom got scared.
he's listening to his music. You hear like the American anthem on the TV because, of course, Miss Nude America's on.
No, it's because they're close. It is now 12 midnight. We are ending broadcast for this.
The broadcast of Miss Nude America is probably over
the channel.
At this point.
WKRP is done for the night.
Yeah, exactly. But they're probably showing that before the channel ends. Whatever. Anyways, he's laying on the bed. He's got his headphones on, and just all of a sudden, just like Freddy's hand, just like comes up, glove and all, and just drags him into the bed. And the bed starts like melting in, like it's
there's a hole in the bed
made of marshmallow. And he just gets sucked into it completely. The bed basically starts shooting out blood.
Big geyser.
Yes, just covers the entire room in blood. just absolutely soaked.
I know how they did this one, but I'm not going to explain it. Look into it yourself.
It's like the end of House 3 levels of like geyser.
But good.
Yes. with blood. Much better than the end of House 3.
I'd forgotten House 3. You know why?
Why?
Because House 4 was so much worse.
This is true.
I'm your singing pizza man.
Wait, no, that's the one we meant, House 4.
There's a
That's
blood
the one.
geyser in House 4.
No, the water geyser.
Oh,
remember? The spring under
I
the house.
don't remember.
That's what I meant.
I've been blocking that thing out.
You forgot in the review and you forgot now.
It was so bad a movie.
It's okay, I'm not blaming you for it. But it's like, yeah, just geysers the entire room in blood. The parents, of course, were downstairs and they disconnected the phone because Nancy was calling a bunch. And they end up, like, walking into the room after, I think, and the bed just covers up back to normal.
Yep.
It's a sick kill.
But the room is covered
My
in
favorite
blood,
in the whole,
and
in the whole franchise.
it's leaking through the floor through the ceiling on the first floor. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
but the bed's normal. But the bed's normal, though. The bed's normal again.
Well, except for the fact that it's, like, red now.
Covered in blood, yes. But it's like, it doesn't have a hole where Glenn went anymore.
Nope. Glenn is all over. Well, Glenn's there. There's some of him there. There's some of him there. There's some of him
And
there.
even over there in that corner. Hey, you got a little bit of him on your face there. Let me just
where's
wipe that
Glenn?
up.
I don't know. What time is it? How does that matter? Well, depending on the time, he could be in one place or several.
In this case, he's in several.
So, Nancy finds out. She's like, "Hey, tell my dad I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get the killer.
Mm-hmm.
Have people break down the door in exactly 20 minutes."
Yep.
And then she proceeds to predator up the house.
Because she was reading about booby traps when Glenn was eating his burger.
And this is probably the only time I feel I need to use my suspension of disbelief with this movie. Because this is actually kind of stupid.
Kind of is, yeah.
Because she says 20 minutes, and when she gets in bed, she sets a timer for 10 minutes, meaning she manages to set up all these complicated booby traps, incling a rigged-up sledgehammer, in 10 minutes or less. Or your pizza's free.
She's way faster than Macaulay Culkin was.
She's faster than Schwarzenegger was in Predator.
She works quick, dude. She has to.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah.
So she goes into her dream. She runs up. Freddy's coming. He briefly wears Tina's face as a mask.
Yeah.
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy. Does the thing with the phone.
Yeah, she disconnects her phone.
Accidentally, she accidentally breaks her phone.
Yeah, exactly. And then the phone still rings, and she answers it, and we hear the line of, I'm your boyfriend nowadays.
And then the mouth of the tongue's on the phone. It's all very creepy.
Yeah. Very well done.
So she wakes up. She goes to sleep, runs up the stairs away from Freddy, but her feet sink into holes in the stairs. She grabs him, goes into the real world, and then the chase begins. Light bulb
final climax.
Light bulb explosion. Sledgehammer to the chest.
Yeah, she locks him in the room, and then he gets out eventually and gets the sledgehammer to the chest.
I thought it was a lot worse when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because I was a kid, I didn't quite read it properly. I thought he took a sledgehammer to the nuts. I was like, it is impressive you're back up. At all.
No, but it still looks like he took a bump and a half from that.
She should have rigged. She should have rigged it to hit him in the crotch.
Winded.
Because he would not be getting back up.
Yeah,
dream powers or no dream powers, he's done.
Yeah, I was actually me and Nelson were watching fight videos the other day, and there was one with an MMA fighter. He like does a back kick to a dude just above the crotch.
Ooh.
And he literally lower solar plexus, and he just he doesn't get up, he's on the floor for what must be maybe 8 to 10 minutes, and he's just done.
Well, he's
crying like a fucking baby.
Note if you ever need to take someone out, the solar plexus is kind of the human body's off button.
Yeah. But like this guy, he probably got like his cup on and everything. He wrapped his hands up. He was ready to go and everything. But like honestly, like the way this guy kicked him, he might as well have walked in there no cup and let him hit him in the balls with an aluminum baseball bat.
Kiss him
Like,
upside the
that's how-
cranium with an aluminum baseball bat. My name is Ma.
Yeah. He honestly might as well have let him do that. It probably would have hurt much less.
So there's a big chase through the house. She breaks the window. The cop's like, okay, you're funny, whatever. Until they see Freddy Kreuger in the house, like, oh,
Yeah. Oh fuck.
we gotta get over there.
Yeah.
Chase him into the basement, sets Freddy on fire, and okay. One criticism I've heard of the movie is, oh, Freddy looks so fake. He's so much bigger than he was before. It's like, look, that's an actual person who they had to set on fire to get this effect. They need some padding. Lay off this bit, all right?
I commend whoever the hell had the balls to actually like run around on fire for that one.
Fun fact, in a lot of Freddy versus Jason, the person getting lit on fire was actually Robert Englund.
Of course it was.
Because I read his book, Hollywood Monster.
Yeah.
It's like, I get to spend like 4 hours, like fucking 10 hours in the makeup chair, then get set on fire today. Yay.
This is what I know I have to do today. What's your day like? What the fuck did you do today?
I got set on fire.
Yeah, it's like, the fuck did you do lately?
So they, Lieutenant Thompson comes in. He and Nancy go up the stairs. They follow the flaming footprints up to Marge's room, and then Freddy is on top of Marge and burning her.
Yeah. Just straddling her.
And she's a crispy critter.
She's like nothing but a skeleton with a nightgown.
And she's lowered into the glowing bed.
And she lifts her skeletonized hand up and just waves like goodbye.
And so Nancy does the labyrinth thing.
It's so clever.
I have battled you here to the castle, the center of the Goblin City. You have no power over me. And he's like, ah, and goes away. It's like, give me all my friends back.
Yeah, it's like, this is a dream.
Give me all my friends back, Kreuger. Fine.
Gosh. And then she walks out the door, just like walks away.
And
from it.
it's all idyllic and happy. And her mom's like, I don't feel like drinking anymore. She gets in a car in a red convertible with all her friends, and the roof closes. But oh no,
black striped.
it's red and green striped. And it's like, oh no, it's Freddy though.
Yeah.
And then a mannequin of Marge gets dragged through the window by Freddy.
Yes.
And then we get a credits with a really cool ending song. It's just a dream. No, it's a nightmare.
It was a good.
Yeah, this movie's basically perfect.
Pretty close to it.
It's just here so we can get to the next ones, which do get bad, and so we can go at the same time with the Friday the 13th, and then finally reach Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, but honestly, my opinion, like, this movie's fantastic and could have stood on its own.
This movie's great.
Throughout the test of time.
Oh, if there was no sequel to this, it would have been fine. If there was no sequel to Phantasm, it would have been fine.
Mm-hmm.
There's no sequel to Halloween.
Definitely.
Like, none of the slasher movies, as good as some of the sequels are, none of them needed sequels.
Yeah, one should make a slasher film or a horror film with no intention of following it up.
Yeah, definitely.
I find that
Which is why a lot of slasher...
the most natural thing.
It's why a lot of slasher films, like, started in the 80s or in the 90s or 2000s don't work as well. Because, like, oh, we're going to get, like, so many sequels to this, you guys. It's going to be sick.
Which is why Saw is schlock.
Ugh, never even bothered. Probably going to have to, eventually.
Oh, yeah, eventually we will.
Not on the show,
get that.
just I'm going to check them out on my own.
No, like, we should maybe do, like, at least maybe the first 3.
Dude, I don't want to describe the gore traps in detail, because that's all those movies seem to have.
I know, it's all just torture porn, but still, like...
There's nothing to talk about, like...
There's some things. There's a story.
Yeah.
Like, it has story.
I'll check them out and then decide whether or not to put them on the list.
And being decent, but like, yeah, we can check those out maybe one day.
Meh. One day, maybe.
Hey, if you don't, maybe one day I will.
Maybe.
Who knows? Yeah.
Anyway,
But,
Friday the
regardless.
No, not Friday the 13th. Nightmare on Elm Street. The other one.
Yes. Regardless.
It was great. It's a like you
rate it.
You don't need if you haven't seen it, go see it. Even though we told you everything that happens, mostly.
No, watch it.
Go see it. It's a perfect film.
Yeah, watch it though.
Like
It's great.
And got something a little special for you next week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're a little bit Nazi. They're also a little bit zombie.
Ooh. Intriguing. I feel like we've been down there before.
Oh, we have. We have indeed.
Exactly. But we're going back to the well for more.
Anyway, I've been Merrick D'Amato.
And I've been the razors of Freddy's hands. The crispy critter. The most crispiest of critters.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.